Welcome back to Tallish Thickish. If you're new here, I'm Sarah, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. Today I have for you a BuffBunny collection try-on haul. This is the last try-on haul that I'm filming today. Today is Labor Day. I wanted to film this try-on haul last weekend, but I had an appendectomy unexpectedly about a week and a half ago, and the idea of putting on some seamless bottoms did not sound great to me last weekend. And honestly, I'm not that much more comfortable this weekend with compression in my belly area, but I'm going to do my best. I apologize if I skip any details. If I do, because I am probably going to breeze through this, please leave me a comment or a question below, but I really hope I cover everything for you today. Today I have the items that I purchased from the BuffBunny collection Strong AF drop that came out a couple weekends ago. This drop featured a lot of seamless options as well as options in their butter material, and today I have some of the ombre seamless miracle bottoms as well as some options in the butter material. But before I get into the specifics of what I purchased and what I have for you today, I'll just quickly review my sizing. I am 5'9". I have a 31-inch inseam. I'm measuring at 43.5 inches around my bust, 38 inches around my waist, 47 inches around my hips, and my quads are measuring around 27.5 inches today. All of the tops in today's try-on haul are in a size extra large, and all of the bottoms are in a size large. All right, let's go ahead and get into this haul. The first outfit I have for you today is in the BuffBunny collection butter material. This is a very stretchy, brushed material. If you watched my Paragon review, this is the one I kept comparing the Luna material to, and honestly, after putting on these flares, I'm going to stand by what I said in that review. I really like Paragon's Luna over BuffBunny collection butter, mostly because of the waistband, and we'll talk about that. But right here we have the aggressive scrunch flares. These are in the long inseam. These are a 35-inch inseam, and the blue bubbles tie-dye. I do really love this tie-dye. I think it's really playful. I'm a Broncos fan. I was kind of going for an orange and blue moment. So up top I have peach rings tie-dye, and that is going to be on this double dip sports bra, and this is again in a size extra large. So the first dip is in the back. I do like the simplicity of the back, and I am very comfortable. I'm not always comfortable when there's material here, but this butter material is very soft, it is very stretchy, and I am very comfortable throughout the back. Minus this bottom band, I do feel like this bottom seam here does dig a little bit more than I'd like it to. However, it is more comfortable in the back than it is in the front. Let's go ahead and talk about the front, because that is more where I have an issue and why I'm not keeping the sports bra. I do feel like it comes up higher on the sides than I'd like. I'd like to see it lose maybe like a 1/4 inch on the sides, as well as dip a little bit further in the front. And I feel like the straps are very thick, and because this is kind of a shorter line sports bra, they are really digging and really pulling, and I'm very uncomfortable. And I feel like this bra just has me strapped up quite a bit. This is like a high support sports bra on my frame, and I do feel like it's kind of squishing me down. So just really not a fan of the overall cut, not a fan of how it's feeling on my shoulders in my true size extra large. I don't want to size up because I don't want to have additional coverage. This is just a no for me. If they do make modifications on the side coverage and on the front coverage, I'd be happy to try again. And on the straps, these are very uncomfortable even after wearing it for a while. So if I see modifications along those lines, I'll be happy to try it again. Moving along to these scrunch flares. I absolutely love these. Love the print. I think it is very whimsical and fun. I was excited to try the scrunch flares because earlier this summer, BuffBunny collection dropped the legacy flares in some really nice colors in azul, salsa red, one of their hot pink colors, and I absolutely love those. I did end up getting a size large when I purchased those in the legacy flares, and I ended up really liking the size large. Just as a quick side note, in the legacy flares, I am comfortable with either a size large or extra large. Because the waistband on the butter bottoms doesn't offer a lot of support, I decided to go with a size large in these flares, and I'm really glad I did. I feel like they would be almost too long for me if they were in a size extra large. I feel like when I have extra room in the hips, then it kind of drapes down further. These do go past the bottom of my shoes. They do drag on the floor just slightly. So these are really great for your super tall girlies. Again, I have a 31-inch inseam, so if you have an inseam that's longer than that, these would be a really great option. I will say my main gripe with these is going to be the waistband. If I do some bent over movements, and honestly, when I was just doing cardio, I just had a harder time with this waistband wanting to stay in place. For me, the waistband on butter bottoms is just harder to situate and harder to get along with than the waistband on legacy bottoms. Legacy bottoms tend to be high rise to ultra high rise, but I can fold that over, especially in a size extra large, and it's gonna stay in place really well on my waist. With butter, whether I go with a size extra large or a size large, I just feel like it's kind of finicky and it's kind of hit or miss whether I can get that waistband to be happy and stay in place. If I am doing some bent over movements, it will roll a little bit. If I lift my legs too, I do get some rolling, and I don't really love that. Being a girly that's got a belly, I'm just not my most confident with this waistband, I guess, is just the best way to sum it up. And I think that's a pretty big deal. In general, with BuffBunny collection, I really like their materials. I really like the creativity that they bring to their designs. I really wish that there would be a greater focus on having functional waistbands that stay in place and that feel really good during your movement. I think that's a huge area of opportunity for the brand, and a big reason why I'm still venturing out to try other brands like Paragon. So biggest gripe with the bottoms going to be the waistband. Just not the biggest fan of any of the aggressive scrunch bottoms. I will say in this particular pair of aggressive scrunch bottoms, the elasticated scrunch is not digging as much as it typically does. So I was surprised by how comfortable I am here. I also usually have camel toe issues with the aggressive scrunch bottoms, but I am not in this pair of flares. So that's a positive as well. If I'm being super nitpicky, I would have liked to see these more in legacy. I do prefer the legacy flares. I think that these would have looked a little bit cuter with that seam detailing that legacy comes with, to see maybe the blue bubbles seam going down the side as well as the tri-seam detailing in the back. I think that legacy and prints just go hand in hand. And again, I just like the way the waistband fits better on those bottoms. So that is the first set in the butter material. Next up, I've got the Miracle Seamless Shorts. You were probably surprised by the squat test. I forgot to mention that, but I hope that was helpful. Now I have on a little butter and seamless combo. So I have the butter bandeau crop in a size extra large, and then this is in the color mar. And then I have on the bottom the Miracle Seamless 6-inch shorts in the Playa Ombre. And I really love the color combos. Just gonna give you a little look around. I know this has been a popular short, and I definitely understand why. I absolutely love the color combination and the ombre that's happening here. That's about all I love on these shorts. I'll go ahead and talk about them. So again, I went with my smaller size. I had tried on the Miracle Seamless short with the last drop in the color Warhead. I didn't include them in a try on haul. I got them in a size extra large, and I just had too much room in these pockets up here. Everybody has described these shorts as a bra for your glutes, and I would go as far as saying it reminds me of wearing a harness. I don't know if you've ever been rock climbing or rappelling, but I feel like that's what I'm ready for. I feel like I am strapped into a harness with the compression that I have here and the compression I have under the glutes. And to me, it's just really not that comfortable. It's not something that I can ignore. The other thing is that these are a 6-inch inseam, so that is really nice for gals with longer legs and bigger quads. But these, because of the compression on the back of the leg, are very tight around my quads. So these, in my opinion, are not thick thigh or big quad friendly. If you're somebody that is sensitive to that compression, if you're somebody who likes it, definitely go for these. But I don't really like that feeling of wearing a harness and the tightness around my quads. The other thing I have an issue with these shorts is I feel like when I got them, there was almost like a hole or a little bit of fading right up here beneath where the waistband meets the seamless material. And I am a little worried if I were to keep these over the course of time, if I'm like pulling these up. These do take a lot of effort to get on. So I am worried over the course of time, am I going to have issues with the fabric that sits right beneath this thick waistband as I'm shimmying them up and working out in these. Personally, I would never be comfortable working out in these. I'm barely comfortable standing in them, and I just don't think I'm gonna get used to the compression around my legs and underneath my glutes. I will say the compression in the waistband, considering the fact that I am recovering from an appendectomy and I am sensitive to pressures around my waist, the way they have designed this rise is actually pretty comfortable for me for a seamless waistband, especially in a size large. So I mentioned my measurement at the beginning of the video is 38 inches around the waist. That is fuller for me. So given the fact that I'm a little bit fluffier, that these are seamless, these are in my smaller size, I would say that the waistband is actually pretty comfortable. It's compressive, don't get me wrong, but for a seamless waistband that is folded over, because I always have to fold over my seamless waistbands, I would say that it's actually more on the comfortable side, and I do like how it fits. It's not gonna roll, which is really nice. Doesn't really matter for me because I'm not comfortable in the rest of the legging, but I will say if I see a similar rise in the future from BuffBunny collection and a similar waistband in different seamless bottoms, I may give them a shot because I do like how stretchy and soft their seamless material can be. Just really not a fan of the fit of these shorts. So if you are a size large and you want these, keep your eye out because they are definitely going back. I'll talk about this top. So this is the Butter Bandeau crop. So I have taken off the strap. I originally tried this as a halter. You can connect it on the sides here and wrap it around your neck. I tried it as a halter. I have it on the loosest setting that it allowed, but it dug so deeply into my traps and it hurt so bad. So I do not have that on. The only option for me would be to wear this without this strap, but I feel like it's just too big in the bottom. This is a size extra large, and since it's a bandeau, I would like to see it be a little bit tighter. I feel like that's a lot of extra fabric for a bandeau, and I do appreciate the shelf lining underneath with the elasticized underband, but I feel like for my chest size I just have too much room, and in the back I feel like you can really see where it's just kind of gaping and rolling over. Yes, it has this silicone line, but I don't know how to get that to necessarily stick or stay on my back, and I think that's because I almost have too much room up front. I never thought I'd say this as a gal with a really broad back, but if they made this a little bit more narrow, I would probably be more comfortable in it. And again, it's just because this butter material is so soft and stretchy that I think that they have room to bring it in a little bit more. I do really like how this sits in the material. As a gal with a short torso, I like that it just kind of effortlessly rests and meets whatever bottoms I'm wearing. So I do like some aspects of this top, but I'm very disappointed that I can't wear it with the strap without a lot of pain on my traps. And I feel like I have too much room up front to wear it without the strap. I wouldn't really feel comfortable roaming around the gym in this top the way it's fitting me right now. So both of these are a pass from me. I'm gonna switch into our last outfit. I've got the Miracle Seamless leggings and one of the seamless bras. All right, last outfit of this small haul for you. This is a seamless set in the ultraviolet ombre. So up top we have a Halter seamless sports bra in a size extra large, and on the bottom we have the Miracle Seamless leggings in a size large. I'll go ahead and just briefly talk about the leggings since they're essentially the same as the short. I will say I truly don't enjoy getting these bottoms on, and that's another reason why I will not be purchasing them and I will not be keeping them. I get ready really early in the morning and I just don't want to be spending a lot of time struggling to get my activewear on. It's just not very practical for me. One of the things I don't like about this extra compression right here is it is very hard to get over larger quads. I kind of gave up, and what that does with this extra compression here, if you're somebody like me and you have like an extra fat pocket that sits beneath your butt, then this kind of pushes that up. I don't know how well you can see that, and I feel like that last little shimmy I did kind of hid that. That is just something to note, that if you're like me and you have really big quads and you've got that extra fat pocket, you may not like the way that these compress the back of your thighs, and you may not like the way it compresses against that extra little fat pocket beneath your cheeks. I know I sure don't. These are very flattering. I would say that they are decently comfortable in the seam area. It's not a scrunch, but it is very comfortable back here. It is very flattering, just very uncomfortable with this extra compression under the glutes. I'm shocked to hear that they wanted that to be tighter. If they make that tighter, that's definitely not going to work for any gal that's got quads like mine, because I already feel like it doesn't. I'll insert a quick squat test in these for you. I will say the waistband is fitting a little bit more mid-rise because it is hitting just above my belly button, maybe like an inch or so above my belly button. I don't have enough fabric to pull up here and really fold it over. So I am going to get a lot of rolling in this waistband since it is a more compressive waistband and I can't really fold it over. Personally, just not going to recommend the Miracle Seamless bottoms if you have a similar body type to me. I just don't think that they're very practical. I also just personally don't really like the message that they send. I know in the gym community we have that cutesy saying of like being accused of having a BBL. I really worry about a product like this sending a message to women that their bodies aren't enough the way they are, that they need all this extra compression and they need to feel like they're essentially wearing a harness in order for their body to look good. This is not a criticism of the design. It's more coming out of a place to just remind you that your body is beautiful. I'm a big believer that the most functional and athletic version of my body is going to be the most beautiful version of my body. I don't think the most fake looking version of my body is the most attractive. Just my personal view on these. I'll go ahead and talk about the sports bra. This is very uncomfortable on my traps. I'll turn around so you can see the back. This does have an adjustable strap, but honestly this strap is doing nothing. It's super stretchy. I didn't bother taking it off because it just really doesn't matter that it's there. I do feel very comfortable throughout the back, but again, just very uncomfortable on my traps. This is digging significantly. I'm also not a fan of the front of the sports bra. It kind of dips in and has these little like pinches on the side, and I don't really know what that's about. It honestly bothers me. I know it's being nitpicky, but I just don't like the way those little darts look. This is like a medium to high support sports bra on me, so that's pretty impressive for a sports bra. I think they did a great job with the coverage up front. I think this bottom band is very comfortable but still supportive. I really like this like bottom portion of the bra, but I really don't like basically from the darts up. So again, this is in a size extra large, just not something that I would recommend for somebody that has a similar body type to me. If you've got big traps, I would definitely steer clear. I would love to hear from you if there's any other brands out there that you would like to see me try. I have been noticing when I purchase from BuffBunny collection, I'm doing a heavy amount of returns, and so as soon as I start to see that I'm doing a lot of purchasing but a lot of returning, I know it might be time for me to move on and find something else that works for me. So far, I'm very happy with the items that I've gotten from Paragon, but I know that there is a big market out there. So if there's a particular brand that you'd like to see me try, please let me know in the comments. I apologize for how rushed this try on haul might feel. I really hope that it was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel. I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer, and until I see you in the next haul, take care.